Now we see a lot of we work with over 100 some shelters across just in Georgia alone. So there are shelters, but a part of the problem is that there is such a large turnover, lack of staffing, lack of training. Most shelters, you have to be in and out with six-week period or a transitional period within 3 weeks, and you cannot truly rehabilitate someone that has been in this type of cycle within that short period of time. So that's one of the major issues we do see, as in lack of resources.
Oh, man. So with your past event here, I want to speak a little bit about the event, the Dinner for Divas that you just actually had over the weekend. Tell me a little bit about because it's an awesome concept, but tell me basically what it is, what made you create this event, and like what do you see as far as the positive effects of the women that attend?
Well, the event is all a part of an equation that we call E2C. So our foundation's mission, the Alma Davis Foundation's mission, is to educate, empower, and celebrate survivors of domestic violence and help them achieve economic and self-sufficiency. So under each one of those letters is an umbrella: E for educate, E for empowerment, and C for celebrate. And we have a signature event that ties in with each one of those. So for celebrate, it is the Dinner for Divas Gala. And what we do is we honor a minimum of 150 young women and girls starting at the age of 13, that are all survivors of domestic violence, and they live in shelters all across the state of Georgia. And so the whole concept is, if I can show you how beautiful you are on the outside, then I can show you how beautiful you are on the inside and pour into you, and start to pull back all those layers and reverse the brainwashing and things you've been told or been through from being in domestic violence. So we bring these women and girls in. They come in for a full day. They get everything from the self-defense etiquette classes. They all go through a full transformation. So you have about 50 to 75 hairstylists in there, 50 to 75 makeup artists, nail technicians. And they come in and they get full formal wardrobe that they get to keep, shoes, accessories. They get their hair done, their nails done, their makeup done. And they don't know until they walk the red carpet that night that all the celebrities, all the corporate people, everybody's there to honor them. It's just like the Emmys, the Oscars, but they're the honorees. And so, again, it goes back to showing them their beauty and their worth on the outside, because as a victim of domestic violence, you are torn down, you're beat down, you don't see yourself as beautiful. And any woman can tell you, when you have your hair and your makeup done and you're on par, you feel great about yourself. And so for us, that's just the beginning step into pouring into their lives to really get down to the meat and the reason of why they allowed themselves to be in a domestic violence situation, what kind of choices they made, even going back to work on their self-esteem so they can understand that they don't deserve to be in those type of situations.
We had a couple of my guy actually run a affiliation of podcasters. So one of my podcasters, Mandelion, and his girl, actually they went and attended. And they said it was a very, very good time, awesome time. And also the wife of one of my other guys, Greg, actually attended as well. So
oh, wow.
Tell me a little bit about this specific event that actually went by. I think your host was it Sterling Brown?
Yeah, the host was Sterling K. Brown. He's an Emmy, just won the Emmy last year for his role as Christopher Darton on O.J. Simpson, and he is the star role. He has a star role on NBC's show This Is Us. And this year he's actually in 3 upcoming movies. He's the co-star in Thurgood Marshall movie. He's in Black Panther as well as Predator. So he was our host, and we were so blessed to have 8 other celebrities there. We had both of our past hosts, comedian Rodney Perry and Palmer Williams Jr. Emmanuel Lewis was there. the two actors, Jalen and Johnny Gordon. Jalen just got through. He played in the Oprah HBO Hear and Relax movie. He also played as Brandy's son. So all of them. Oh, Attorney Benjamin Crump. We know him from Trayvon Martin case, Michael Brown case.
Mm-hmm.
So all of them were in attendance, as well as we had about 12 of your major corporations out of Atlanta in attendance as well.
Awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, you had a very good gala. I saw your I think you had a show that you had did on 11 Alive before you actually had the event. And so at that point,
mm-hmm.
I saw it afterwards, you know what I mean? So I got word of it afterwards, but it was awesome. I can tell, just based upon that and then looking at the event and the pictures and everything else, I was like, wow, this looked like this was a very good gala to go to. I had a guy here in the chat, my man Sluggo. Mm-hmm. We have chat names here, but Sluggo actually said he had a question that said, does your foundation track to see the girls' success after the event?
Yes. So the Jennifer Divas Gala, because a lot of them, first of all, you can't come to the gala but once, but that is our introduction to them, and that's how we track. We begin the track by bringing them into our other programs that we do for the rest of the year. So that again, that it goes back to my saying, let me show you your beauty on the outside, then I can show you how beautiful you are on the inside. So that's our way of having like a first date with them and getting them engaged and wanting to receive the help. Because the one thing about domestic violence victims, if you're not willing and ready to receive help, we can't give it to you. That is the first step in overcoming as a victim or becoming as what we call a survivor. So yes, we track those that we train for a year or we work with for a year. And actually, our Diva of the Year award is somebody that we worked with for a year and we've tracked them and watched their progress. And so like this year we had the shelters to even nominate who they saw had grown in the time that they've been in the shelter or working with us. So yes, that's our way of tracking. It's sometimes hard to track everybody because you do have, unfortunately, some people in domestic violence situations that go back to the abuser again because they have been brainwashed. They fear for their lives or they fear for their kids. So for those people, it's hard to track. But we have had some that have gone back, but they come back, and they're coming back to us for help. So we do what we can to continuously track them and see their progress. One of the things we are doing that is in our wheelhouse for the next 1 to 2 years is for us to have our own place where we actually keep them for a year so that we can make sure they are fully engaged, on track, have their own place, and make sure they're not going backwards, repeating that cycle.
Wow. All right, so I don't know if somebody called in here, but because we got the conference line going, so VJ or Angelo or whoever else that called in, do y'all have a question? Okay, if not, then I'll go with the next question. All right. So I don't have a question. All right, so you have another upcoming event. I saw it looks like it's going to be a huge event in 2018. That's the Diva Empowerment Conference. Tell me a little bit about that and how you came up about it. Is this the first one? First question, or is this an annual event?
No, this will be the third one. This will be the third annual.
Okay, tell me about that event.
Mm-hmm. So with that, we do a free conference at the Georgia World Congress Center for any survivor, whether that's male, female, child, and they come in and we attack a certain topic that deals with domestic violence. So the first year we did it on domestic violence and illegal law, and you had people there, speakers like Attorney Benjamin Crump, Judge Hatchett, Judge Sean LaRue, people on the legal side to talk about the effects of domestic violence on the legal side, even as a survivor. What are your rights? Understanding all the legal aspects of it. This past year, when we did it, we partnered with Northside Hospital and some financial institutions, and it was called Becoming Healthy After Domestic Violence, Physically and Financially. And so we addressed certain things, like with the physical. Most people only see domestic violence as the physical attack of someone's body, but there are so many other issues that are tied to that, whether that's, most people don't know, like I think it's number 65% of women who have been domestic violence issues or had any type of head trauma, they later on in life have strokes directly tied to domestic violence. You have mental disease, mental illnesses, PTSD. So we took it a whole step further in understanding all the long-term effects of domestic violence. On the financial side, the number one reason why people are in domestic violence situations is due to finances, lack of or control of. And so we went back in and had financial institutions come in to train on, small things as understanding your credit. Most people that get out of domestic violence situations, their credit is gone. Rebuilding your credit, learning how to balance your checkbooks, how do you save? Because, again, when you're in these situations, your finances are being controlled by your abuser. So you've lost all identities, they're all self-independent, and it's retraining. You're having to go back and retrain people. And it goes back to the correlation of why we see so many people. If you think about the Ray Rice stories, or you see so many athletes or people that are on that high level, engaged monetarily, and you see and hear the rate of domestic violence that takes place, because normally the other partner stays in that situation because of the money.
Right.
They will subject themselves to domestic violence relationship because of the finances. So we are working on, to answer your question, yes, we're coming up to our third empowerment conference coming up, and so we invite survivors out to that event when we host it.
Okay, wow. All right, so I think T-Dub, did you call in? I had another guy actually said he was trying to get through, but he couldn't be heard. *6 to unmute if you say you hear us. All right, well. Any other questions? Like VJ, you have a question? Anybody in the conference line have a question? All right, we'll continue on. All right, so you have a I think it was I can't remember, it was 5K or 10K, but you got a run that you do also, correct? Or was that in the past, or is that in the future coming up?
No, our 5K it's an annual run. It's called Walk a Mile in Your Shoes. It's a 5K run, 1 mile walk.
Okay.
If you walk instead of run, you're partnered with a real survivor, whether that's male, female, child. And as you walk together, that survivor shares their story with you. So you are truly walking a mile in their shoes. We host that every year. Yeah, we host that every year. The first Saturday in October. October is National Domestic Violence Month. So we host that to kick off the month, and we host it every year right off at Piedmont Park on the Atlanta Beltline.
Oh wow, that's very nice. Very nice. How as far as because I guess you get a lot of corporate sponsors that get behind you and push out these events. So the word, getting it out to the people, you actually have to use a lot of the media sources here in the city as far as the TV, radio, print ads to get out there. I'm just trying to figure out, how do you get the word out for your events and also for the foundation itself? Is it a good as far as a word of mouth? Because I mean, this is like I said, this is awesome, and it needs to be spread as far as it can.
Right. And a lot of it is, as you said, we do a combination of things, from word of mouth to advertising, online, billboards, getting corporate partners engaged, you know, utilizing the